Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Story. Now today's Sunday Story is all about positive habits. Now an interesting thing with this video is I'm going to try and do this where I can in as little takes as I possibly can. And the reason for that is actually about a number of positive habits that I've started. Well, a long time ago, if I'm honest. So basically today I've still got to get out and do my walk and do my 20k steps. And also at 5 o'clock, I'm going to be playing a bit of Fortnite with Ricky. You've probably heard me mention Ricky a number of times, and we are going to get around to doing that collaboration. I know I've been talking about it a while, but obviously we're both really busy, and he's doing some fantastic things with his magic at the moment, but we will get around to that. But they're two really positive habits. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about those and tell you why I'm going to try and make this video as quickly as possible because of those positive habits. I'm not going to cover too much about why it's important to have positive habits, kind of the essence of that, because if anyone wants to check out my previous video, I kind of do cover it there, so I will leave the description and I'll put it up there somewhere. But I'm not really going to talk about that too much, but I'm going to talk about some positive habits that I've got into during lockdown. And these, I think when it comes to developing positive habits, it's great to have them in lockdown, but actually, you know, they can apply to anytime. I think, you know, if you talk to or discuss success with anybody who's deemed a successful person, they will tell you that a big part of their success comes from positive habits. So this isn't just confined to the world we live in at the moment, which obviously is lockdown, which looks to be coming to an end pretty soon, which is great. But I want to talk to you a little bit, and the story today is about some positive habits that I've kind of taken on during lockdown. So when this all started, so God, it feels like we've been in this forever now, doesn't it? But probably about 2.5-3 months ago, something like that now. I'm very conscious of the fact that, you know, I'm a bit of a bundle of energy. And if I don't kind of have a focus for that energy, then what would tend to happen is I will use that energy to run to the fridge and eat lots of food. So I kind of didn't want to have that energy, and I didn't want to be one of those people that kind of during lockdown just kind of sat at home watching Netflix. Not good for your health, certainly not good for your well-being. So I really, from the outset of this, I kind of thought about, well, what are some positive habits that I can put in place to really turn this into a positive and turn this into a real opportunity. So I want to talk to you today a little bit about some of those things. So the first one would be, to give you a little bit of background, like I've always been conscious of my weight, like constantly, and I tend to go up, down quite a lot. Used to be a little fat little porker as a kid, I'm not gonna lie. Then I lost loads of weight at university, so I think back then I managed to get into a size 28-inch jeans. I remember Sarah, my friend at uni, used to call them my spray-on jeans because they were that tight. But yeah, and then obviously since I finished uni, kind of my weight went up, down. And I've always kind of been someone that's been quite conscious of it. So I know that kind of if I want to get myself into a really good mindset, then one of the things that would be good to do would be to lose weight. I always feel great when I'm losing weight, and when I look in the mirror and I like what I see, same as everybody, you feel great. When you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, then you know that can have a really big impact kind of on your mindset. So one of the things I thought about was, I've got all this time now, and I really want to make use of it. So I really want to channel my energy into the right things. So obviously that's what led to the birth of this YouTube channel, which I've been talking about for a long time. So that really gave me something to pour my energy into. But one of the things that I set was thinking about some really good habits that you can get yourself into. I thought, you know what, I'm going to set myself a target that every single day I'm going to achieve 10,000 steps. You know, I think that's pretty achievable. Back then we were allowed one exercise per day. It didn't really stipulate how long that could be for, and I thought it's really important that if I was going to be productive and if I was going to get myself through in the right mindset through this lockdown, then it was important that I got as much exercise as I could. So that's kind of what I set out to do. So every day I would get up, and at some point during the day I would get out on the seafront. And I know I'm luckier than most. I literally live now about a minute and a half from the seafront, and I don't know what it is. There's something about the sea air that's just fantastic. I've kind of pretty much walked the same route every single day, and it's never ever got old. So I started on that. Believe it or not, managed to achieve 10,000 steps every day for, I think it was close on 80 days. Wasn't without its struggles. You know, there were times when I remember, particularly when there was one time I was getting wrapped up in a video and I was doing lots of editing, and I think it got to about nearly 11 o'clock at night when I just finally finished the video, and I've been working pretty much all day on it. And I kind of sat down and I thought, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to have to write off the 10,000 steps. I think at the time I was probably on about 4.5, just pottering around the flat and doing bits and pieces and going shopping. But I kind of resigned myself to the fact and said, all right, well, today I'm not going to hit it, but you know, it's fair enough. And then I sat down and I think I put a Netflix show on. I believe the Netflix show was The Last Dance. Everyone's talking about that at the moment. And one thing I would say to all of you, if you're interested in kind of understanding the mindset of a successful person, then watch that show. It's incredible. Even if you don't like basketball, obviously it's about Michael Jordan. But even if you don't like basketball, and I'm not particularly keen on basketball. I fell over playing basketball when I was 11 and ended up with a pin in my arm, so I don't like basketball that much. But it's just fantastic just to see kind of the mind of a winner. It was amazing. But I believe I started watching that and my mindset wouldn't rest. It wouldn't let me kind of bail out on it. It wouldn't let me quit. It was kind of like, come on, Paul, you've still got an hour. You can achieve those steps in the hour if you just get out there and do it. And before I knew it, I was out on the seafront, you know, out on Hove Lagoon, walking towards the beach, and off I went, and I managed to achieve it. So I think that's the great thing about when you have positive habits. You kind of get to a point where your mind gets so conditioned to those habits that it kind of won't let you fail. So that was great. I mean, so much so that kind of like after nearly 80 days, it was becoming very obvious that it was almost becoming a little bit less of a challenge. So I was probably achieving kind of about 15k steps a day at that point. So I upped it to 20. So for the last 2-3 weeks, it's been 20k. I have had a little setback, and we all have setbacks. So doing all these steps, kind of, it was absolutely the toll it was taking on my feet was just crazy, and I was kind of ignoring a lot of stuff that was going on with my feet until I really had a look at them and saw something horrific. Honestly, the back of my right foot looked like I don't know, it was worse than a badger's arse. Okay, it was just awful. There were blisters everywhere, huge blisters. It was not pretty, and I had to make the decision, the right one for me, and that is you've got to take 2 or 3 days off, allow it to heal so you can get back doing it. So, and that was really hard, you know, for the 2-3 days that I didn't get out there and do the steps. So it did impact my mindset. But that's the thing about positive habits, you know, it will just keep you going. It will keep you motivated. Before you know it, it might be hard at first, but before you know it, your mind will recognize how good what you're doing is kind of doing for you. So it will go, right, I like that, I want to do more of it, and it will keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. As a result of that, you probably can't see at this point, but I'm going to do a video about it a little bit later, but I have lost ridiculous amounts of weight by doing these walks. Not only that, it's just done fantastic things to my mindset, absolutely fantastic. And I guess I'm a bit of a people watcher, so I just like going out there, walking down the beach and you know, watching people, and particularly dogs. Like, dogs are, let's be honest, the greatest animal in the world. So just seeing dogs running around and stuff like that, it's just I don't know, does something to your mindset that's just so positive. So that was just kind of just sharing with you one of the habits that I've kind of got into, and one of the reasons why I want to finish this video relatively quickly, because I want to get out there and do my 20k steps. But it really, if you can strike a positive habit and start to keep that going, the results and kind of the rewards of doing that are absolutely massive. And I'm very conscious that, you know, when all this kind of ends and work takes over and everything else, then it'll be a bit more difficult. I absolutely get that, but my brain is now so committed to wanting to do this that I will find a way. I will find a way. It's just kind of how it is. I also would like to lose a bit more weight. My mum, bless her, mum, sorry for sharing this, but I recently went home to see my parents, social distancing of course, in the garden, and I walked through the door, and I think the first thing my mum said was that I looked Mediterranean or something like that, because I have got very brown. And the next thing she said was, "Oh my God, you look incredible. Everything looks great. All you got to do now is sort your arse out." It's very true, I do have a big arse. I say it runs in the family, and it's on your side, mum. But anyway, yeah, so I've still got a bit more work to do, but I'm going in the right direction and probably feeling the best I've felt in absolutely years, if I'm honest. So that's one example kind of a positive habit. And I think exercise is always positive to get exercise, because it makes you feel good. You know, and when you look at yourself in the mirror and you can see the results of what's happening, that makes you feel good as well. So that's something I would absolutely encourage any of you to do if you're kind of feeling the strain of lockdown and everything else. Okay. The second thing that I said that I want to do today is play Fortnite with Ricky, which may seem a little bit like, well, go on, you're talking about achieving, you're talking about success, and then you're going to go off and play Fortnite. Well, when you think about things that can kind of help your mindset and get you in a good place, they don't always have to be reaching for the stars and all that kind of stuff. We all need some downtime. We all need some time just kind of to enjoy ourselves. And Ricky and I, not every day, but certainly most days and pretty much every day in the week, you know, we always take an hour to meet up on the PS4 with our headsets and we play Fortnite. And it's a positive habit that I've really got into and I really love. One, because it kind of gives you a little bit of release, which I think is really, really important. But secondly, that interaction with Ricky, and I hope he'll probably agree the same, hopefully, has been massive for both of us. We're both obviously used to be part of the same team. I think everybody would probably say that if they met me and Ricky that we're very similar in terms of the kind of people that we are. You know, we're very kind of energetic and we really kind of crave that human interaction, and we both respond to positive feedback and all that kind of stuff. So actually having that hour every day really helps me, and I'd probably like to think it helps Ricky as well. So I think we drive each other on. We talk about what we're doing, we talk about what our plans are for the day. We support each other, which I think is just absolutely massive. And we both kind of, I would say, inspire each other to do more. So I think when I look back at the end of, you know, when we come out of lockdown, I'm going to look back and feel quite proud of kind of all the things that I've done, all the things that I've achieved. But if I'm honest, and I know Ricky will be watching this, I probably wouldn't have done it without Ricky, because, you know, he's always kind of, he keeps on at me, I keep on at him, and we feed a little bit off each other. And I think just having that hour to kind of wind down, have a laugh, have a chat, and kind of talk about and feed ideas off each other has been absolutely massive for kind of my positive mindset at the moment. So thanks to you, Ricky. I know we're going to be on there again at 5 o'clock today. Hopefully I'll get this video out by 5 o'clock today, which I should do. But no, that's been really, really, really massive for me. And I think it's really important that you do take some time, whether that's watching a Netflix show, just spending a little bit of time with your loved ones, or whatever it might be. You know, achieving success isn't all about pushing for this goal all the time. You've got to take some time to unwind and kind of enjoy yourself and let your hair down and talk to, your friends and the important people in your life. Which kind of leads me on to kind of my other point that I wanted to make today, which is actually about looking at the people that you surround yourself with. So another positive habit that I've even become more aware of, I think, during the lockdown is what kind of people do I surround myself with? And the reason I say that is when you look around, any of you, think about the people, your friends, and the people that kind of surround you every day. And I want you to kind of ask yourself this question. Those people around you, those individuals, do those people fan your flames or do they douse your fire? So how do I explain what that means? I guess what that means is the people around you that you surround yourself with. I mean, first of all, are they positive people? I think that's really important, because I think if you surround yourself with negativity, then you can't really be surprised that that's kind of where your mindset turns. I think negativity is a bit of a poison, and it infects people. So are they positive is the first one. But the second one is, do they support you? Sounds like a ridiculous question, because you'd think if they're your friend, they must support you, right? Of course. But actually, when you look around, do your friends and the people around you support what you're doing? Okay. Now, the one thing I want to be clear about is I'm not talking about saying it's really important you surround yourself with yes people. Those people that tell you brilliant every day, and every decision you make, they tell you it's the right one. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about. The best friends are the people that support you in the direction that you want to go. Okay, they'll do everything to kind of cheerlead, but they're also not frightened of telling you when they feel that you've come a little bit off track, and maybe they can kind of almost act as a sat nav a little bit and help you to move back on the path that they're clear that you want to go on. Okay, so this isn't about just telling people they're wonderful. Okay, I like getting told I'm wonderful, but I also need that reality check sometimes. There's a number of people around me right now who are brilliant at doing that. I don't have to name check them because you know exactly who you are. But that's really, really, really important, because you know and you respect those people, because you know that when they give you that advice, they're coming from the right place, and they are saying what they're saying because they genuinely want you to achieve what you're setting out to achieve. The problem is, and I've been in this situation as well, I think probably we all have, sometimes you look around and you actually see people that aren't doing that. They're the people that are kind of dousing your fire. The people that are always telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, okay? And I think it's really, really important with those people, where you can, you sideline them a little bit, okay? Because the impact, again, they can have on your mindset from a negative point of view is massive. If someone tells you constantly over and over and over that you can't do something, unfortunately, a lot of people get into that situation where they start to believe what people are telling them. So I think ask yourself it's about really recognising whether people's intentions are true or not, okay? Because I think there are always people that will tell you, oh, don't do this, don't do that, oh, don't try and achieve that. And a lot of that reflects more about how they see themselves than it sees you, than it reflects on you, okay? So it might be, for example, you're about to do something that you've been looking to do all the time. It's a really big achievement for you. But you know what? They might be sitting on their arse right now watching Netflix. They don't want to see you achieving. Why? Because it makes them feel shit about themselves, because they're not doing anything. Okay, so sometimes people can do that. They don't like seeing people achieve, or don't like seeing people happy, because it makes them reflect on kind of where they are in the world, and actually maybe they're not very happy, and it forces them into kind of thinking about why they're not taking action. Okay, so I just think, we're all surrounded by people, and you can look on Facebook and go, oh, look at me, I've got 500 friends, or I've got 1,000 friends. But we all know how many of those are really true friends, because true friends you can normally count on one or two hands, right? It's true. But I do think that's really, really, really important, that when you look around your social circle, look around the people that you talk to a lot, that you interact with a lot, it's just really important that you surround yourself with people that understand you, know what you want to achieve, are supportive and encouraging in helping you achieve that, and you obviously reciprocating that, okay? But doing it and coming from a place of wanting you to achieve, and not afraid to have those hard conversations when they're needed, because we all fall off track, we all get sidelined, we all kind of get distracted, and we all make mistakes. And great friends are people who they cheerlead, they support, but they also are not afraid to say, hey, Paul, step back a minute, you're being stupid. Okay? Because I need that as much as everybody else. You know, I'm someone that gets very much taken up on flights of fancy sometimes, and I kind of let this rule that a lot. And my friends know that. My true friends know that, and they know when to kind of step in and kind of give me a little bit of a pep talk and a little bit of a talking to. So that's kind of two things I just wanted to talk about today, really. It's those positive habits. So for me, the exercise one is massive. I'm going to do a follow-up video about this soon, because I think it's a kind of a bigger subject in terms of health and well-being. But it's something that's really, really helped me. And I think a lot of people are going to look back on this whole lockdown period and go, oh my God, what a terrible time it was. But I won't, if I'm honest. It's given a lot of us time to step back, reflect, think about kind of how we live, how we view the world. Perhaps realise that we don't connect with family as much as we should. Think about the fact that maybe we don't connect with friends as much as we should. And I genuinely believe that this last 3 months have been extremely positive for me. And I'd like to think that when I come out of this, I'm not all of a sudden going to forget all this stuff, that, you know, I want to take a lot of this positive stuff that kind of I've discovered through this kind of journey and make sure that it doesn't go to waste, because I think that's kind of really, really important. But it has. I look back and I think, you know, my health's improved. I think my relationships have improved. I connect far more with people. Feel much more a sense of a community around me, which I think is really, really important. I appreciate the world around me a bit more. You know, when that freedom's taken away, you start to realise how important that freedom is. I think that's really, really important. And you know, everything at the moment's probably in the best place it's been in. You know, I'm happy with where I'm going health-wise. My personal life is absolutely fantastic at the moment. Hello, Lucy, if you're out there. Just been really, really enjoying it. But I don't think I would have been in that place if I hadn't have said to myself at the very beginning of this journey, right, you need a plan, you need to take some positive actions, and you need to make sure that you kind of create something and do it daily. And that's what I've been doing. So anyway, yeah, I've kind of been going on quite a while, and all in one take. Look at that, getting better at this stuff. And you know what? The Thursday videos are great, and I love doing all the editing and all that stuff, which is brilliant. But sometimes it's just nice just to stand here and kind of tell a story. So hopefully this has been helpful. But yeah, just to finish with just a really big shout out. I'm not going to start name checking people, but there's a lot of people over the last 2-3 months who have been absolutely fanning my flames. So I want to thank everybody for that. And if you weren't, you're probably not around anymore, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, really, really important. So I hope this has helped. Again, please subscribe to the channel. As you probably already know by now, I put out videos every Thursday and every Sunday. So again, subscriptions have been overwhelming. I think we're up to about 1,300 now. So if you know someone that you think would benefit from some of these videos, then please share it with them. Drop a like if you can, comment. So absolutely love you to interact in the comments below. Kind of talk to me about what positive habits you've managed to instill during this period, and also how you're going to kind of continue those on when life goes back to normal. Because it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard when real life takes over. And we come out of this, it's going to be hard to kind of look at some of these things and go, right, how do I do this now? How do I achieve 20k steps when I'm working? Okay, I might have to reevaluate. Okay, but I'm certainly not going to miss the opportunity that this is given. So back to that thing again, you can look at the pandemic and see, is it a problem or is it an opportunity? And I think you can find an opportunity in every single thing. So there you go. I can't believe this. 25 minutes I've been talking now. Wow. So hopefully you're still awake. And again, thanks for watching. I'll be doing another video, obviously, coming up on Thursday. But in the meantime, if you'd like to chat or need any coaching or anything like that, then please contact me. So thanks very much. As always, I look forward to speaking to you again and making more videos. And until next time, stay safe.